So Ronin, introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Ronin. I'm a content creator slash streamer on twitch.tv slash UU Gamer Show. Um, been streaming for a couple years, mainly just really like kind of entertainment and teaching people stuff that I find in games, giving just small gameplay tips. Nothing crazy, just kind of a variety streamer. Kind of does a little bit of it all.
And we're also joined by Mino, as usual. And today he's gonna be a brain for a little bit.
Yeah. So first, I just want to comment on Ronin's uh, bedroom voice there. That was very hot. But yo, as usual, as usual, I'm having technical difficulties, so I'm just gonna start off incognito. But thanks, guys, for coming to the podcast and let's jump in, man.
So Ronin, give us a little bit more of your background on being a content creator. When did you start, and things like that.
um, I was a content creator starting in, well, I would say more or less I was a streamer starting in like 2014, 2015ish. I can't remember. There's a site you can go to where you can look at people's Twitch statistics and really see the calendar of like when they streamed, how long, stuff like that. Um, but I think mine said it was like 2014, 2015, something like that. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was around that time. So that would be about 6 years or so. I started doing YouTube videos in 20, I want to say like late 2019, right before Borderlands 3 came out. I was doing some like Borderlands 2 videos, and but I had the cell phone sitting propped up by a coffee cup, and it was like some in 2019. Yeah. Um, I used to record like some old videos of Guitar Hero back in like 2014 and stuff. That was like before streaming. It was just like uploading videos. Like I would go to YouTube. Like YouTube was the forefront of anything content before streaming even existed. But even when it did, still it was, you would go there to see people watch concert taping of a concert or a guitar cover or a Guitar Hero, song being played at 100% or something like that. So I started doing that, and then I learned about streaming when Xbox One came out and they put the Twitch on there.
Cool. What was your original plan for streaming? Do you have any goals or anything like that?
Um, my original plan for streaming actually was just to connect with people. I was really addicted to chat rooms as a teenager. I grew up in the AOL era and stuff like that. So I grew up with Messenger or whatever it was, and yeah, chat rooms. I just loved getting in a chat room with random people and just talking. I guess came from like a bad background in school, bullying, stuff like that. So it was like in a chat room, you didn't matter who it was, and as a kid, you're not worried about ages and that weird stuff. So like it's just like it didn't matter who you were, it didn't matter who they were. It's just y'all had this interest in whatever chat room you were in. Maybe it was a cartoon, like there was some websites you could watch cartoons and then chat in the chat room or something like that. It could be that or something like that, or you could just be in it's just chat room, AOL, something like that. uh I just love that experience of just talking to people without problems, because you can be like, oh, you look like this, blah blah blah. So yeah, I like that Twitch offered that, and it gave me my second thing I wanted as a kid, which was to like be a pro gamer, something of the sort. So it was like I could show off how I was, the shit at video games, and also connect with people and just talk and just share a love for video games. That was basically the original goal of Twitch. Be the coolest chat room I could be.
That's cool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, what kind of games do you normally play, or is there a
Um
genre you specifically like?
yeah, I'm actually kind of like a variety streamer. I play fighting games, I play shooting games, uh strategic games like top down games like Halo Wars, uh all kinds of stuff. I love World of Warcraft. I love it all. I'll play anything that people want to engage with and stuff like that. That I also have fun with. I have to have fun as well.
I think I had the same like early beginnings for streaming. I didn't know what I wanted, but then when I started doing it, I was like, hey, I could meet people and talk to people because I didn't really have that in my life at the time. So it became
Yeah.
something to do where I could just go and people will come and just talk to you and then they leave and then someone else comes and talks to you and then they leave. It's always like a constant revolving door for the most part of people talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I met you and I was like, oh, he's really cool. And then you had like that high energy and I have like this medium energy. So like we just clicked.
Yeah. That's what he does. He has like that's what I liked about one is like I could be way up there and then he was chill. So like when I'm like, this game is like Wanted's over here and he's just like, it's all good. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, Wanted. It is all good. I need to chill, bro. I'm out of my element right now.
Yeah, I remember those days back when Wanted was streaming, because he would always be on his stream just like chilling, man, like just vibing. And I remember like a lot of times people would be like hype, and he would be like, "Okay, guys, we got this. Okay, guys, it's okay." Like he was like the calm, like everybody's like spazzing out, and he's just like, "Okay, guys,
I'm
we
like,
got this."
we've lost 7 games in a row. And he's just like, yeah, we have, man. We have. That's it. And
Or
I'm
he's
just
like,
like, all right.
I think someone once said he said something, and he was like, "I said that." Like he said something like, "You have to don't think of it as losing, think of
Oh
it as
yeah,
learning," or
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't lose, we just learn. And the person really liked hearing that.
Google would say there's no such thing as coincidences.
So we were talking behind the scenes and you had an original plan before streaming. You want to talk about
Uh,
that?
yeah. Well, one of the things I wanted to do was stand up comedy. I don't know if that's one of the things you were thinking about or talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah. I used to want to do. I mean, still do like wanted to do like stand up comedy. And sometimes I used to think about it. I wanted to do stand up comedy, but I also wanted to write stand up because there's been a lot of times where I'd watch someone's stand up comedy special or something, and I'm like, it could be your audience, but I'm like, man, that joke really would have hit if you would have just added this one word, or if you would have just paused right here and then hit with the punchline or something. Like, I really could like your joke was good, but I could have made it better just by editing, tweaking a little bit.
Mm,
And I was really interested in Neil Brennan. He used to write for Dave Chappelle on the Chappelle Show. He also does his own stand up comedy. But yeah, he's hilarious. And when I seen the person that was like behind a lot of the some of the greatest sketches that people find notorious from Chappelle Show or just in comedy period, I'm like, yo, like I mean Dave Chappelle, he's Dave Chappelle. He did his work, but like he's not the only person who's really funny. Someone
mm-hmm.
who else was part of that guy being really funny in a sense was behind the scenes. He didn't even I didn't know he existed until late 20s. So yeah, I was like, oh okay, I don't have to be just a stand-up comedian because I got like kind of like a stage fright as well.
Yeah.
Even though because the webcam's a little bit different, but even though I stream in front of people all the time and can talk to someone in public, no problem. I can just walk into a group of people and talk. Doing stand-up comedy is a little bit different. So yeah, I would want to do stand-up comedy, but also writing would have just been fun as well.
I only asked that question because I was thinking about doing improv because I always wanted to do improv on a stream just just
Mm.
for kicks and giggles to see how it would go. So I asked you about stand-up comedy because I know that's always like the next thing when you compare the two. It's either you do stand-up or you do improv.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's another thing I've always wanted to do improv too, because with improv, I'm just really good at like being asked something on the fly or what do
Yeah.
you got to come up with the next thing on the fly. I'm
Mm-hmm.
good with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I think that's what streaming is too. It's just like trying to figure out what you're gonna say next based on what you're doing right now. And you need to have that, the quickness. Otherwise you're just gonna be lost.